Right, hey everyone. So today is something completely different as usual. As you're aware, I'm actually wearing one of those guide dogs branded uniforms, which is not really much of a uniform. It's just a merchandise stuff. And as you're already aware, people would always ask themselves, maybe friends, family, or other random people, as to what charity they should be supporting. So I used to support different charities. They would range from mostly like animal related. So that was the Dogs Trust. What else I did? Was it the WWF Foundation? And there was also the Whale.org one, plus other related ones. But I tend to question certain charities in particular and where the money actually goes to. So, yeah, people, we haven't got a clue where money goes to, especially for a charity or anything in particular like that. So, yeah. And obviously, up to now, when it comes to a charity, people, you got to think realistically, where's that money going? Is it going to the cause the charity claims? Again, they'll say, oh yeah, 100% donations, goes to the cause. It doesn't go to the CEOs, it doesn't go to the top executives and that kind of bloody shit. And from what I understand, I don't think what most of these charities are saying, people, is even true. But I can't say for definite that that's the case, because obviously people say, well, where's the proof? The fact is, people, right, you don't need as much proof, especially when it comes in charities in particular. So, for instance, right, the main charity in particular I support more often, in theory, is the guide dogs. And why is the guide dogs I support more often now? It's because I see evidence. That's right, people, evidence. They don't tend to with most traditional charities. Like, I remember back in the day when I don't know how many years gone back here, people. There used to be adverts, people that used to be absolutely annoying, constantly begging for fucking money, saying if you donate this, if you donate that, blah blah blah, it help this and help that, and like my mum said, charity starts at home. To a degree, of course. I mean, it's like these charities that's supposed to help fund certain communities or help people with disabilities like myself. People, I'm telling you now, these charities that I supported back in the day, especially them ones, did they support me? Did they shite support me? And why is that? I'll never find out. But one thing's clear, I know for a fact, from what I gathered and from what I witnessed, that guide dogs in particular is probably the only legitimate charity that I've witnessed. Because even though you see the actual staff train them, but you also see people who are blind with these guide dogs. But on the other hand, people then going to say, well, how can you tell? if those people, these guide dogs, aren't just fake. Again, we don't know this. I don't know this. But I look on the panel and the fact is, well, I see it as evidence, because obviously when you question charities, especially, like I said, where that money goes to, they can say, oh yeah, it goes to this cause, it helps do this and helps do that, blah, blah, blah. But then, what doesn't make sense is the progress. So, for an instance, say like, oh, if you donate £5 a month, to our charity, it helps towards this child abroad, and the families, and then what you notice, then people, what I've noticed now, I see a pattern. I see the same advert, the same children, the same teens, the same adults, the same families. And you think, like, people have donated, but where is the fucking progress? Where's the evidence? There's none. So that's probably the reason why you don't see them as often now, compared to back in the day. But some charities people do tend to be quite aggressive tactics, trying to push people into making donations, trying to target the vulnerable, the weak, as much as they can by trying to ask them a small amount, that then trying to entice them for larger and larger sums of money. It's beyond people, a pathetic fucking joke. And when I was doing street collections for Dogs for Autism, which I'll say I'm no longer be doing it for them no more, which is permanently, I'm afraid, I would not approach people and shake the tin and ask for money. No. I would always stand there with the shirt, with my ID badge, with the tin, collecting money. I would say good morning, or anything like that, just as just a general conversation, And if people ask me questions about the charity, I always had the knowledge what autism was like. I also had a brief overview of what Dogs Autism did, and from what I understand, how the money was spent. But then people got the impression for I actually was a paid volunteer for Dogs Autism. No, I wasn't. I was actually doing it for free. The reason why I asked for a badge in particular, people, was that there's so many scams with charities, you don't know if that person's legit. So, that's the reason why after speaking to them, I managed to get them to send me an ID badge, which then trusts the public to give me money on behalf of the charity. That money then had to go into my bank account straight through a Just Giving page, which obviously was the only option I could do, because obviously I wanted something transparent for the public, and it was the only way for both the charity and also the public to know that the money was going directly to that charity and not me. Because, say for example, people, say like someone said, oh, if I donate this money, where's this money going to go to? Is it going to go to me, or is it going to go to the charity? It goes to me, and then after from me, it goes straight to the charity. Because I had an absolute fucking nightmare, people, of bagging up that money, because unfortunately there was no machines that counts the money, so then it's less change and more notes, so then the banks could take it. So yeah, it's an absolute people fucking continental nightmare. So anyway, but yeah, that's the reason why people I personally think Guide Dogs is probably the only charity people you should probably support. But in the day, it's entirely up to you what charity you support people. I mean, I can't, entice you to them. I can't make you. But, it's entirely up to you. But I'm also surprised. The fact is, Guide Dogs shop is not in Saltburn, Redcar, Middlesbrough, Whitby, Scarborough, anywhere in like where I usually would go to. There's no physical shop, and I personally think we could do with a Guide Dogs actual official shop. Selling merch. It doesn't have to be like all merchandise where it's just Guide Dog branded. No, they can even just do what most traditional charity shops do. People just sell second-hand stuff, But at least then the money's going to a good cause. But I don't agree with these paid street collectors who were approaching people and asking them to make a donation. And when you talk to them and ask them questions, there's only so long where they'll be like, oh, do you know what, I'm not interested because also they're not making no money. I said, well, what's I telling you? With me, people, if someone was to speak to me, regardless if they want to donate or not, it was entirely up to them. I was a non-paid volunteer. So, and if I was to be asked by a charity, saying, well, if we paid you a commission or if we paid you a wage, would you be willing to do it? I would have said, no, I will not do that. I do not believe in approaching the public and asking them for money. It's just fucking wrong. The public should be, at least people willing to fucking donate straight to them. Why do you think I raised so much money for Dogs for Autism? Just because the fact is, I stood stationary for God knows how long, maybe a few minutes, almost an hour at least. Even sometimes in fucking freezing cold, people. Sometimes I made less than £10 in a day. Sometimes I made £10-20. But again, I always stuck to the Redcar High Street, and sometimes I did Saltburn area. But Redcar seemed to did my most profitable in terms of fundraising for the charity. And if I remember right, I think I raised about £300 for the charity. And again, even though the money went straight to my bank account, but I wasn't going to show this bank details of mine to the public. No. I had to find a solution, and just giving was the only way I can do it. So yeah. But yeah, people, I personally think, it's entirely up to you which charity you support, but personally, I think you should choose the Guide Dogs charity, as the main charity to support. But whatever you do, people, it's entirely up to you, because I can't make you what charity you want to support, But always think carefully, people, where that money's going to. Is the charity that you're supporting not making up? Because again, to run a charity, people, from what I understand, you need 3 trustees. Yeah, unfortunately. And because I don't have that sort of requirement, I will never find out what charities are physically hiding. Especially the ones where they say, oh yeah, it 100% goes to the cause. But again, where's the proof in that? There's none. So anyway, I thought I'd just let you know, people, it's, like I said, it's up to you which charity you want to support. But personally, people, I would recommend choosing the Guide Dogs.